Hi folks, this is Danny at Bradley James. I'm showing you one of our trade-in cars, and on this occasion it's a Mini Cooper 1.6 petrol from 2005. So it's actually pretty much the last of the first generation Minis, referred to as the is it the R56, I think, and therefore it is quite affordable. I think it's literally just hit 100,000 miles. I think it's in one of the nicer colours, a very lovely blue, and I'm going to look around the car slowly with you. I'm afraid it's just rained here, so it just had a nice wash and then it rained, but I'm going to ask you to take my word for it as I show you around the video, and I will point out any imperfections on a car which is remarkably 15 years old. How did that happen? So before I get into the bodywork, which I believe to be very good condition for its age, I'll tell you that these particular cars are sporty, but they're not the sportiest. You basically have the Mini 1, which is just the standard petrol engine. The Cooper has certainly got styling features, and the Cooper S has got a turbo supercharger, and that's the next one, which drinks lots of petrol, but it's very fun to drive and very expensive to insure. So this one's fitting in between the base car, the Mini 1 hatchback, and the Mini Cooper S, being the Mini Cooper 1600 4-cylinder petrol engine. Very peppy. I've just taken it for a drive. There are no warning lights. It doesn't make any strange noises from any of the wrong places, and it's actually a pleasure to drive. They are a very sporty drive. Remember, this is a BMW underneath. Certainly BMW have payrolled this car, built this car, and build quality is very good, and it certainly feels very sure-footed, and it does feel very well made. Now, it's a budget car, but just because it's a budget car, we still want it to look nice. Now, I'm going to start with this near side front wing. I can't see any major damage at all, no lacquer peel. That looks quite nice, as does this door. If I get down very, very low, I can see a little scrape, but that's hard to see. And if I get in really closely, I can see a little scratch, which I'm guessing will polish out. I can't even see it now. I've stepped back 3 foot. The back panel appears to be free from any serious damage or dent. It's got a very attractive black roof, which contrasts really well with the tinted glass and the black arches, mirrors here. The alloy wheels are in pretty good nick, but of course they're not perfect, but they don't need refurbishment. I think you'd leave them just as they are. The back bumper looks to be in good order. I can't see, got a few leaves on here, but I can't see any issues with the back end. A single tailpipe on the Mini Cooper. While we're here, we may as well have a look at the boot. Now, of course, they're not huge, the boot in these cars, but you can quite quickly fold down the seats with these little handles here, or they split, and you get a lot more space. So you don't buy these for the huge boot space, but it's pretty adequate. And I think you could put some bags in there and have a decent weekend away. But the seats sit back quite far, so considering it's a small car, you do have good space in the back for your passengers. And I've just noticed there's a 12-volt socket there, and this is the spray foam, because you don't seem to get spare wheels anymore. While we're here, it's worth mentioning that the MOT didn't have no advisories from the last MOT, and that runs through to the the middle of November 2021. There's some invoices for some recent work, including the braking system, and there's a service booklet here, which has all been nicely stamped up, and the owner's handbook. Please note the car only comes with 1 key. Frustrating, I know, but it's best to know. Rest of the car, okay. I had a quick look at the tyres, and it looks as if they've had Pirellis on the back and Dunlops on the front, and they all look road legal and perfectly adequate to drive you home safely. There doesn't appear to be any damage on this rear panel. You've got a few little sort of chips on the doors along here, but nothing drastic. this door looks pretty good. No, not really a parking knock. That and a very minor scuff here. And looking around the front of the car, that front bonnet is pretty good, as is the front bumper. There will be some stone chips if you get really closely, but I can't see any. Glass looks to be in good order, and I can't see any chips in the windscreen. It's a bit blowy and cold, so let's get inside and we can both get warm. Now, inside a Mini. This is where I think they're really funky, because they've obviously borrowed this design from the classic Mini. For those who remember a classic Mini, you had the big speedo and then you had a dial either side, and I think that's the styling of this, except in this case it's air vents. You've got a glossy material that looks pretty sporty, which runs through onto the doors. You've got some tweeters up here. These little blue things, by the way, are air fresheners. I didn't know what they were either. And the speedo sits in a little pod which moves up and down with the adjustable steering wheel. Quick demo. Up, down. There we go. A sporty leather steering wheel with the perforations, which all sports cars must have by law. Not quite, but you know what I mean. A 5-speed manual gearbox. You can adjust the mirrors electronically here. This all looks very funky and sort of looks like an aeroplane cockpit, really, doesn't it? Electric windows. We've got front and rear fog lights. You can lock the button with this. I can't see any air conditioning, so no air conditioning on this car, because I think it's usually one of these buttons. Heated rear screen and normal temperature controls. There's a CD radio, and this is of course the speedo. And as reported, we don't have any warning lights on startup. She starts on the button, drives really well. The interior, they're quite big scoops in those back seats. I mean, quite comfy in the back, quite sporty seats being a Cooper. It is clean and tidy in here. I mean, it could be taken to the next level with a real deep valet, but to be perfectly honest with you, with our trading cars, we give them a wash and we give them a hoover, and it appears that this one's been looked after quite nicely. Quite a generous sized glove box, and again the compulsory cup holders. So I can't really tell you a great deal more, except here's some more cup holders. Well, that one looks like it could double up as a cigarette holder as well. Yeah, it's in good condition inside and out, I think, and at the price point, I think this is a lot of car for the money. It's amazing to think that they've got this economical. So just 100,000 miles, fully serviced with the history book to back that up. We've got a handbook, a single key. The specification does include things like electric windows, and it does have central locking, and we can adjust the mirrors electrically. I think it's a really cool colour in this metallic blue with a black roof, and she's good to go. She starts on the button, drives without fault. We've had it through our workshop and we haven't found any issues with the car. I think this is a nice little car. So thank you for watching the video. Please get in touch if you'd like to come and have a look at this little Mini Cooper from 2005. Thanks folks. Danny at Bradley James signing out.